Hello, second graders. Today, our learning target is I can write a paragraph to recount the story of the bear and the bee. Now, you read it with me. I can write a paragraph to recount the story of the bear and the bee. Today, you will read the fable, The Bear and the Bee, and write a paragraph that recounts the story. You will need The Bear and the Bee, Day 12 Fables and Folktales Response Journal, and a pencil. First, let's reread The Bear and the Bee. Once there was a pollinator named Little Bee. Little Bee lived in the forest. Little Bee was buzzing by when he spotted Big Bear. Big Bear was taking a nap. Little Bee buzzed close to Big Bear. Suddenly, Big Bear woke up. He cried, "Little Bee, you know I could kill you with my giant claws. I will let you live because you make honey, which I love to eat." Little Bee thought. He said, "Big Bear, you are much larger than me, but one day you might need my help." Big Bear laughed and said, "You are tiny. How could a silly little insect ever help a powerful creature like me?" Little Bee thought again. He did not say anything. He just buzzed by and flew away. Later, Little Bee heard a noise. It was a hunter. He had a bow and arrow, and he was ready to shoot Big Bear. Immediately, Little Bee flew to the hunter and buzzed in his ear. The hunter was scared. He cried, "Leave me alone," and ran away. Big Bear cried, "Little Bee, you saved my life. Thank you." Little Bee said, "I promised you I would help you. I am little, but I can do great things too." Now that we have read the fable, let's think about it. A paragraph is a group of sentences that develop an idea. Remember that. Now think about the question, what is the central idea of the story? Pause the video now and think about the central idea. Remember, the central idea can also be a lesson, and the lesson can be learned by how characters respond to a problem. Pause the video and think about it now. Now that you have thought about it, talk about it. With a family member or a friend, talk about this question. What story elements do you need to include in a paragraph recounting this story? Remember, you will need things like the central message or the lesson and things about the beginning, middle, and end. Use your fingers to count the sentences you should include. Pause the video now and talk with somebody at home. Now that you've talked about that question, let's write about it. Using your journal, write a paragraph to recount the story. Share this with a teacher, family member, or friend when you're done. Remember, you have a checklist that you can use to make sure you include all of the steps in your recount. Thank you, boys and girls.